What up, fam? Doing a little bit of a different trail today, but a long walk for a Friday. Oh, feeling good. Still these daggone flies, they're everywhere, man, these mayflies. Something that I was thinking about, again, as always, anxiety, depression. I've talked about that a lot. And I talked about how, what is it? This is a real hill right here. Y'all, my legs burning. I'm about like a little close to 2 miles in. And that hill, that was a real hill. All right. Anxiety and depression. It's kind of like, actually, okay, let's do an analogy. It's kind of like that hill. When you go up that hill, you expect to feel a little bit of a burn, right? I've already been out here walking. I'm already breathing. My breath is going. These are things I expect. Those are proportionate reactions to me going up that hill. But sometimes we get disproportionately angry, irritable, frustrated, sad, happy, like overwhelmingly happy about something so small. These can all be signs of anxiety and depression. A lot of fellas, as I have said many times on these walks and these videos, a lot of fellas have a lot more depression and anxiety than they realize. That irritability, that anger, that reaction to a situation that is wildly disproportionate, something small, but folks is just getting really angry about it. That's a lot of times that's a sign of anxiety and depression. So I said before, I had started taking like the lowest possible dose of Prozac possible, the generic version of Prozac, about a month and a half ago, right? So 10 milligrams a day. I have noticed on the 2 days I've forgotten it, I had some disproportionate reactions to everything that was going on. Sensory stimulus, people not understanding me, a lot of these neurodivergent issues that are accelerated and exacerbated by racial tensions too, right? And so I had to recognize that, oh, this is very accurate. Now, typically when we think of Prozac, we think of depression. We don't think of anxiety. But depression and anxiety feed into each other. They have this symbiotic relationship or this reciprocal relationship, right? When one pushes, the other one is pulling. So a lot of times anxiety can be a trigger for depression. A lot of times depression can be a trigger for anxiety. Another thought that I have is, for those of us with these neurodivergent brains, these ADHD brains, these autistic brains that are just humming, they're just going and going, they're thinking about everything all the time. We can't turn them off. It's kind of hard to think about so many things and all these complexities and not have anxiety and not have some form of depression, because it's just too many thoughts. So all I'm saying in this one is, start spending some time reading up, watching some videos, listening to some podcasts that talk about anxiety and depression. Because a lot of the symptoms aren't things that we think about. We think about people real nervous and fidgety with anxiety. We think about people just weepy and mopey and never leaving the house when we think about depression. But it's way more than that. Irritability, binge spending, binge drinking, binge substance use, right? Sometimes pornography addictions, other stuff along those lines, right? It looks a lot different. Hyper focusing on a role that you have, the role as parent, the role as provider, and only thinking about those things. Not being able to rest in the moment because you're always trying to carry out those duties. Even when all the kids are in bed, or all the kids are out of the house, right? We all have our battles. We all have our struggles. But the important thing is to be humble and to keep walking. Let's get it, y'all. Come on.